shop and trying to analyze. I'm sweet enough, Dave.
All right, I'll call this meeting to order. First up, roll call.
Counselor Thronson. Counselor Thronson.
What are you doing? You don't go that way. You come this way.
Counselor Thronson.
Oh.
Counselor Levine. Here. Mayor Levine.
Here.
Counselor Jibri.
Here.
Counselor Morris.
Present.
Thank you.
Can I go back?
Okay, next up, pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just happened.
All right, next up, consent agenda.
Mayor Levine,
Yes.
can you go back to 3.1?
Okay. 3.1, C, Keewatin proclaims November 17th through the 23rd, 2024 as National Hunger and Homeless Week in Itasca County.
Mayor Levine, the Itasca County established this time period for national hunger, and we just wanted to mention it and acknowledge it.
Thank you. Number 5, consent agenda. Any discussion?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda as it stands.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carried. Unfinished business, update on East Itasca Joint Sewer Board bylaws.
Yes, just this morning, actually, Mr. Borland sent Brian his response letter. It's quite lengthy, it's 63 pages, so Brian still has to take some time reviewing and processing everything, so. We are in the works, so he sent his response.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a add-on here for insurance under unfinished business. We have to approve the service co-op for insurance benefits, Plan 1, same as what we had last year. I need a motion.
What's the increase on it? What's the new rate? In the upper right-hand corner? It's in there, I think.
Let's see, rates effective 1/1/25 will be single 1,130, $2,262.40. And a family will be $2,862.88.
What was the previous, do we know?
Previous was $1,029.50 for single and $2,607 for a family. So
Okay.
actually up 9.80%.
And Mayor, if the council recalls, this was in a previous package. We tabled it to discuss it matters. And
So, just for clarification, if anybody's interested, the insurance rates are going up about $101 for a single plan, which is roughly $12,000 a year. And the employee pays 10% right now, correct?
Correct.
So quite a large jump for the city with the budget, which we will be reviewing going forward. And the family plan is $155 a month times 12, whatever that is, times quite a few on the family, I'm sure. So just keep in mind for our next budget meeting, we're gonna have to look at that and do some assessments. So that's all I have.
And if I remember correctly, this isn't something that the city is just imposing, this is the adjustment for that insurance, the rate. It's not something we just decided. So we don't have a choice, is where I'm going with it. So I'll make a motion to approve those changes if there's no other discussion.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
All right, and all abstain since it's a contract and my brother's involved in it.
roll call, Counselor Morris.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Counselor
don't have
Jeffrey.
to roll call,
Oh, okay,
not for that, only if it's a negative vote.
okay.
I know.
Very good. 8.1.
Okay, move on to new business. 8.1, approve the Axon quote for body cameras. Cost of $13,181.60. Chris?
Yes, I've been wanting body cameras for a long time. Cost has always been a major prohibitor of that, I guess you would say. But in your packet, I have a revised quote. Axon came up with a pretty good plan where you could use the remainder of the public safety funds that we were awarded at the end of last year, pay for the majority of it. I will be applying for a grant in December to also not have to use up all the funds and cover the remainder or whatever. And the budget impact for next year will be minimal, $130, I think. And the total cost is spread out until 2030. So it's not a one-time payment. That's what these funds are for. So it started off at 25,000, now it's down to 13. So that's something I can swing. And body cameras work on a few departments that don't have them, and they are very beneficial to both public for transparency and for the department for clearing officers' name. So, any other questions?
I have a question. So we have to have a public hearing on this.
Yep.
So before we can approve the purchase, does it have to be contingent, I'll ask the attorney, on having the public hearing first?
So I assume yes, because the point of the public hearing is to inform them and see
Correct.
if there's any major objections to it.
Is there a deadline for this purchase for the price or?
Lock in the price. I can do it by the end of this year, as the cost goes up significantly next year. And we wouldn't get them until March, I think, so I would think, you correct me if I'm wrong, I can sign the quote and plan for having the hearing before we, I think, per statute says you gotta have it before you implement them, so.
Let's see, yeah, before it purchases or implements.
And we're not paying for them or getting them, they just, now, if we're signing a quote, we wouldn't get billed next year, or even receive them until springtime.
Well, I just want to make sure we're not going to get pinched on it by the auditor.
I still feel like we should have the public hearing.
First.
Even with the folks, yeah. You could do it
Okay.
at our next regular meeting.
Right.
You know, I could put it together, it's not.
Yeah.
not big.
So it's 10 days notice, so you'll have to get that in the paper. The meeting's the 18th, so that'll give us plenty of time then.
Because there's
Just
only
set it up.
meeting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're only having the one meeting in December, so the public hearing can be held that night.
On December 18th.
Okay, does that work?
Works.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're
Yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
And then at that time of the public meeting, maybe you could help me with this, would we have to have a policy in place?
I will come up with all the years.
Okay, I read this one and I thought there was some really good stuff in the,
Mhm.
you know, which,
They have a model policy, and I'm looking at neighboring departments.
do we have to have that though for the public meeting is my question?
probably for
I
review.
would think, yeah, so.
So it should be in the notice, it should be available at the clerk's office for review prior to the public hearing.
That's all I need.
I think we have one too, I can shoot over to you. The 18th.
Yeah. and then
Yeah.
if you
Or- Get a hold of Chad. He probably has a copy. Okay,
So do we
so we'll
need,
just, no action then tonight till the public hearing.
Okay.
do we need a motion to set the public hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to set a public hearing for the purchase of the body cameras on December 18th. What time do we want to set it? Do we want it before 4 o'clock or 4:30?
4:30.
4:30 on December 18th? Okay.
Actually.
Yeah, that works. I'll make.
Oh, no, right.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. Second.
We need,
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Are you doing the precious files too?
Is that the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
8.2, approve Precious Paws Animal Shelter contract from January 1 through December 31st, 2025.
Yeah, I think you got that in your packet as well. It's gonna, the
Yeah.
price is going up a little bit. They've been operating at a loss for a while. And Joe Key's outlined it pretty good with his graphs there. Probably paid over the years and there's a couple increases in the animal intakes since 2012. This year was by far our highest year. We've already allotted animals in the contract, 8 currently, and I think we're at 16 right now. The new one, they want to bump it up to 10 allotment of animals, but they gradually want to increase the overage from 50 to end up being around 150, which is still pretty cheap. I mean, $50, they're losing money. And, but we don't really have any other options. We still want to have animal control. This is the only game in town.
So I'll make a motion to support the contract.
I'll second that for discussion. So like, is it more dogs, cats, combination cats? Are they just nobody's cats or where are they coming from?
If you're on this town at night, it kind of comes alive.
Okay.
at night.
Oh.
There are a lot of cats.
Yikes.
You should see it by my house.
Are
When
you
you pick them
kidding?
up, are they licensed or not?
No,
They're feral.
So,
feral
yeah.
cats, yeah.
Nobody ever claims them. They end up, Precious Paws holds them for 10 days and they end up bringing them to the vet to make sure they're okay and get them their shots.
That's
And then
expensive.
they adopt them out. And, yeah, dogs, the few that we do pick up, usually they clean. And it's always cats. People catch them. And like, we try and discourage that a little bit. So we tell them this is your tax dollars. But it's worth, I wouldn't want, I mean, I get people's, when they catch them, they're nuisance cats. They're causing damage to the property. So
Right, yeah.
I understand it, but it's not free.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know,
That's why we need to enforce our licenses in town. And we've been talking about it for a long time. And as you know, Mickey, walking around, it's insane with the dogs and cats when you go on property. They know we're out there. So when the meter reader goes, he should say, I can hear. You can tell if it's two different dogs. It's not that difficult to do, to count the dogs and cats in town and when you're going around meter reading. And we've been talking about it for a long time.
So how many cats get licensed, do you know, versus dogs?
The city would have that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
significantly less.
Right.
Right, because most people say my cat doesn't leave the house or something. But it doesn't matter if the cat leaves the house or not, they should still have a license because if it
It's
does
for
bite
health
somebody,
issues,
right?
You see a lot of stray cats around the abandoned houses. And they're
Oh.
born, they're up by our house, and people get kitties, they're cute, and then they let them
Yeah.
go. And then they have babies.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you can't catch them, it becomes a big problem.
Mhm.
So it all starts with one where, but I see them around, you have the ring cam up at the house, and you catch them at night, and they come at night. They
Wow.
try to even come into the porch to get the dog.
Because they're hungry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So. But, yeah, so I support the continued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
No,
All in favor?
I,
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. 8.3, approve payment of the whole M&R third quarter 2024 invoice, $20,329.78 for our sewer bill for Nashua. That's a considerable drop.
I'll make a motion to pass, to pay the bill and add it to the claims for tonight. If we could, please. It was taken out because,
Thank you. Second.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. 8.4, discuss winterization, cleanup, pump maintenance for Keewatin sewer plant.
Well, winterization, we learned a lot from last winter. We've been pumping down that in-house tank. You can see the bottom now. Last year it was full of water. So that didn't work. I mean, well, I guess it did. There's really nothing to correct down there. I don't think it warrants heating that building, that would be very expensive. And we've got it pumped down. We just have to keep that pump down until we can't pump anymore. Once it gets so cold, you can't pump it anymore. So that's running right into the pump right now. So that part should work out a little better as far as water in that whole system. All those tanks are down now. I'm not sure the names of all those fiberglass buildings, but the water is way down in all of them. So
Good.
yeah, it pays to keep that pumped up. We will have to obviously continue heating the lab building, our screen room, and then across the road, the digester building, because that has so many power lines in there and heat system. Gotta keep pumping that basement or that floods. So that one just doesn't stop. As long as there's groundwater, it's gonna keep flooding.
Yeah.
But the groundwater does go down in the winter, the water table, I should say. So I think we've got a handle on the winterization for a better. It's been a learning curve. Cleanup, we did get the pumps stowed away, they're up in the annex, or the mezzanine level of the shop. Maintenance, I wasn't sure what you were looking for there. I mean, you keep them maintained, change oil, and whatever. So, yeah. I think that's all I got on that, unless you have questions.
No, we'll just have to keep an eye on it, and if we gotta change in midstream or something, we'll just have to, you know. But I think if you keep that MOP thing down, but like you said, when it gets so far into the winter, it's probably gonna freeze up.
But it'll be way down.
It'll be way
Last year it was
And then
full.
we got that height to get by maybe, maybe we'll make it.
And just to mention, next year, if we do continue to pump out the digester, we're gonna pump the water out this time.
Right.
We've got the pumps to do it, and
Yeah,
that was a giveaway this last time. It was discussed, and we wanted to use that water to rile up the solids and be able to pump it. Well, that didn't happen, we just pumped off the water, and, you know, whatever.
all the learning experience. Next year we'll know better.
We paid them to pump water, and then we started running a hydrant in there, and paid them to pump that water.
Yeah,
So, again, we're not gonna do, learn. Yeah, I don't know everything, I don't know much about a sewer plant, but I'm learning. So, anyway, that's my thoughts, if you guys have any others.
no, that's good. Thank you. Eight point five, adopt resolution to apply for and accept funds for the children's toy drive on December 14th, 2024.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. 8.6, discuss quote for skate shack roof, $12,375. That also includes a wall and stuff inside.
Does it include the wall now, because I never
I
saw.
think it does, yeah.
Okay, so I think it was 10,000 before?
Yeah,
So, yeah, and, the issue with the wall, I don't know if anybody went down and looked at it, the water runs off the roof right inside the tin for the wall, so he's gonna extend that roof a little more, so it doesn't run down the wall. Now, if you want to wait, he was not interested in putting a metal roof on it. Miller Roofing said they would, and they're gonna try and be there tomorrow. I give up on them. I thought, call them one more time. So I called them today, and, they're supposed to come tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Where a metal roof comes in, because they're gonna be putting metal on that wall. Anyhow, maybe it make more sense to just put a metal roof on that, I don't know.
yeah,
So. Anyway,
good idea.
Was this for this year? Or?
He wouldn't be able to get to it.
He's not gonna get it
He's
till
not gonna do it.
next
It's
year,
gonna be
this
next
spring.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to prove it all.
So then we'll have another quote.
Wait till spring, yeah, and that we'll get another quote.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on. 8.7, Billy. Discuss quote for review NEMPA 2025 rate summary.
We had Dave Burr come up from Minnesota Power and kind of explain, so we make sure we knew what this was all about. If you got that chart in your packet, looks like the rate per kilowatt hour is going from 7.1 cents to 7.5 cents on the bill from them. So we need to figure out what we're gonna do with our rates. Right now, we charge 10 cents a kilowatt. So I don't know what you guys are going to decide for the upcoming year.
I thought we were at 11 cents or 10.
No, we've been at 10, so I think we're gonna
It
have to
was
move up
dropped.
to 11.
Okay.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I know that Nashwa's at 12. And then maybe again next year, we might, this is gonna start, this contract's gonna start going up on the back half of it. So we might have to get the jump and go to 12. But we can do 1 cent maybe this year and look at it again next year.
When is this contract up again? When?
It's like, it was like a 10, wasn't it 8 or 10 years?
That's what
And
I
the first
thought.
5 was good, but then on the second 5, it starts to climb up.
Okay.
It's kind of backloaded.
What did the other, people at NEMPA, what did they think about these changes? Were theirs the same? Did you guys discuss any of this at the meeting after?
Yeah, and this was the same kind of stuff was discussed on as far as, most of the reasoning is because of the jump, because of the mild winter last year. Is the reasoning why the total didn't go up that much. There was.
That's what I'm kind of concerned about for this year, is we had such a mild winter. There isn't that much of an increase on that Excel sheet, compared to 24. You know, I wish, you don't know, I understand it's like a budget, you just,
Right.
but oof, I'm nervous about that.
Where are you all at with your utility conversation?
What's that?
Yeah, you guys have been meeting, did you start your little group?
No, not yet.
Your little committee, okay. It's not a little committee, it's a big deal. I don't know, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if this is part, like, do we have to do this now? We need action sooner than that? Or is it
Well-
totally separate?
This is separate.
Totally, okay.
So, I just have a question. Can you run a report at the end of the month on the kilowatt usage that we've billed out? And then what we are getting billed from Minnesota Power so we
So
can
you
compare?
Have a chart on.
Is it in here? Okay.
Well, the 2024 is listed on.
Oh,
the
right
month.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And it will tell you every month what was used and what was billed.
And seriously, for it was $28, or 28,000, that is interesting. But the biggest concern, I believe, on this bill increase is that MISO. You know that from, I mean, it's
Mhm.
insane what they're charging for the
Yeah.
transmission of power.
Right.
Hydro, whatever they're using on it. That's what's hurting everyone the most, I feel.
Yeah, and they have no control over that.
Because, yeah. None of the other fees, the flat fees have changed from, 25 to 24, which I thought was kind of.
But this is just their information, right?
This is our billing.
Minnesota Power.
Yeah,
But what are we actually billing out?
right,
Yeah,
that's for Minnesota.
off of.
Right. I'd have
When
to-
you run the report off the system, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So after you run the bills off the system, then how many kilowatts are we actually billing out and using to our customers versus what they're charging us? Because this is just their information.
Yeah, that's what we need.
So we can compare.
And that's just the final end of month billing. like you
Right.
said, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And then we can see where we're at, because obviously, when they run this report versus when you run your bills, there's gonna be a gap. A week or whatever, probably. Like if you run them on the 25th and they don't run till the 30th, you're gonna have that little
Right.
gap, which, you can account for that. And then summer versus winter, too. There's always a little, difference in usage. So, yeah, if you could run those reports, maybe just email them out to everybody, and then we can just take a look at them and have a chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Eight point eight, approved pay estimate two to the Gallison Incorporated in the amount of $148,912.50 for O'Brien Reservoir.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.9, approved pay estimate three to Gallus in the amount of $140,565.80 for O'Brien Reservoir.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. I've been out there quite a bit as they've been building. The building is up. A lot of the plumbing is done. They're wiring today. They're up to the wainscoting on the building. They don't have the higher siding on. It's coming. And they seeded and strawed the whole works in the last couple of days. It looks really nice out there. It's all covered.
Are they gonna keep the old one up for next year?
I don't think so. Nick called me today and he wants that power cut so that they can, start tearing down. But Minnesota Power, of course, is gotta get their end done first, so that's what we're waiting for.
Excellent.
All right, 8.10, adopt resolution for 2024 delinquent public utilities assessment.
I have a couple questions on this. On, the parcels. When I look these up, I see that last one at the 0215 is an empty lot. I think you meant to have the 0220. It's the last one, the 0215. It's an empty lot for the 1422. If you want to just check that.
I don't know.
And then, did any of these have water shutoffs with a $100 charge to them, or wasn't that? I don't know what the delinquency is. Have they been disconnected completely for a long time? So there's a water charge of disconnect, and then the administrative, $25.
Right,
Those are all in here?
I'd have to look and see which ones are on here, I did, but most, and all of them have been, besides one, I think, that's been totally disconnected.
Say that again, now.
All the services have been disconnected on all of these except I think one. I'm trying to remember who's on this list. No names.
Okay. Because some of them I thought were up in rental properties and, yeah.
So
There were,
just to tag off of your question, so there's a $25 admin fee that should be added on here?
it is on,
It is, okay. And then what else, the water? A
Well,
shut off?
yeah.
Or what about the
Dis-
power disconnect?
Oh, yeah, that's 100 too. So if the water was shut off, it's 100. If the power was shut off, it's 100. I mean, that's what has to go to the county.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, because there isn't a complete itemized detail, so I don't know what you did. So if you could just check on those, that's all I'm. Not just the amount they owe, all these extra fees,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution contingent upon verifying that all the fees are added into the amounts and change if needed.
second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
And then I just had one other question. This is only for delinquent utilities. Did we do any lawn mowing or anything like that we needed to assess? Garbage or anything? Pick up,
Light? No.
like, okay,
Or dogs. Last year we had all of it.
okay, thanks.
Okay, we'll move on. 8.11, adopt resolution to hire Preston Stevens to the Keewatin Fire Department.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. 8.12, approve payment of claims by the city clerk of necessity prior to the December 18th, 2024 regular meeting.
Support.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. 8.13, approve fire department ride-along Ethan Hammonds.
Make a motion.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.14, adopt resolution to apply for and accept funds for the Children's Fire Department of Santa on December 14th, 2024.
That's, so we're gonna do Santa in the park over here with, the fire department and the police department. They're gonna do a toy drive too, so we're gonna combine and do it together, so.
Nice.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support with one adjustment on the resolution that the date of the event be included in the resolution.
Okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, any committee reports? Commission reports?
Well, I guess I did have one comment. Kind of early, but we haven't got Thanksgiving or Christmas out of the way, but we locked in the band for the 4th of July, so just to let everyone, same one as last year. So they did commit, yeah.
Are you on department?
Yep, department head reports, so.
I was wondering if the council would allow us to have an employee Christmas party on December 11th and include the volunteer firefighters. And I'd like to host it here at the community center. I've asked permission from Keewatin if we can use the upstairs.
Is it gonna be in the community
Yeah.
center or upstairs?
It's a community center.
Upstairs in the auditorium, what do you call
Oh,
it?
up there?
Yeah. It's easier for me.
I think it's a bad idea.
Do you?
It's a great idea.
I think it's nice, yes.
And what time are you thinking?
4 to 7. More information to follow.
So we need a yes? Did you say
Motion?
yes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 11.2, fire department holiday event in the park.
Yeah, so I kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
So from, are you guys gonna be done there from 11 to 3? Because typically we run around with Santa from 11 to 12.
Yeah, I kind of keep that a little flyer made up, and Santa goes around in the fire truck from 11 to 1 or
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah,
Santa Claus will come back to the cabin, we're gonna do the cabin,
Yep.
decorate it, use that historic building, so next to a ramp, I figured it'd be a good deal. So
Good place for Santa.
Stale fire hall.
yeah, absolutely, we like it.
A little more festive, get some use out of that building, and from noon to 3, people can come and meet Santa, take pictures with them, cookies, goodies, whatever. Tommy said I will be collecting toys and donations for our annual countywide toy drive.
So a joint effort. We did.
Very
Nice.
good. Very nice.
Thank you, Chris. Council reports. Quick. One more, street supervisor department update on streets and equipment.
Well, we had the sweeper fixed up, but, that mechanic failed to take a lot of the stuff that he worked on down. We had 3 breakdowns first time it was out. So that set us back a little bit on the street sweeping and the pothole patching. We've got all this the streets patched. We've got to do we've got all the avenues patched. We got to do the streets next, and then Hayes addition. So I think the next week we'll finish it up. The trailers plugged in, we should have enough tar to do it. I've been out a couple different times myself and patched some alleys that we had work orders on. But yeah, I took down a full trailer load in 3 alleys. I mean,
All you can do.
Devastated. They're just in bad shape. So anyhow, that's where we're at on the streets.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll get to the alleys or not, I hope to. We need to get another little tar, which I did call Hopkinson, and they said we can get more of the patching, or asphalt are done, which we've been using the patching tools. If we have to get another road, we will. I want to have some in the trailer in case something happens.
Yeah, and then you kind of gotta have some for the spring, yeah.
Yes, so we gotta do, I wired a 50 amp circuit over in the annex building, so we can plug it in if we need to, you know, a couple of days ahead of time, heat it up. And be ready to go. So anyhow, do you have any questions on that anymore?
I think just prioritizing the streets before the alleys, get those done.
Right, well, like I
You
said,
know.
it was work orders, Pam.
Yeah.
One of them was right here, Osborne's alley, and another one was Jelin's alley, behind Danny Manuel's. There were some big holes that had to be patched. Anyhow, we're pretty good on them. So, the equipment was all ready to go. I went and, got a little salt sand for the pile and mixed that in with our sand pile, and I also got a load of salt spreader. Big truck, so that's all ready to go. They're all pieced up, ready to go. We got the counterweight on the tractor, the plow on the tractor, the plow for the pickup, the loaders, they're ready to go. I did inspecting and I found the center hitch on the newer loader. It's got some rust that is right through the frame. I mean, what do you do? That's going to be a major repair. You know, cut it out and replace the steel. It's a 30-year-old machine. It'll be fine for now. We're just going to have to run it. You know, that's not a simple little repair. You have to be broken in half to fix it. So,
Well, they had to redo something with that anyway, didn't we?
yeah, I mean,
You know, when we priced it up before, we were gonna fix those arms and that. Might
Well,
do it at the same time.
arms, the bearings, like I said, it's flexing enough at the center hitch where the drive shaft rubs. There's that much movement in it, and these are good things, but whatever. They're tough machines, and it'll just keep going until it doesn't, I guess, you know. So that's where we're good on the equipment to plug. We're ready to go. I mentioned briefly to Mayor Lee that the line truck has issues. The control quit yesterday when we were taking down banners. The only way you can control the boom on it now is at the turret. So when you're in the bucket though, you can't run the boom. So I've been working with Alltech on that today, and they'll have better answers tomorrow as to rough idea what it's going to cost to control it. So we're without a line truck at the moment. We repaired banners today. We have enough banners for the streets, for the winter banners. We won't be buying them vinyl ones like the mine bought, and they just don't hold up.
Nope.
But what were you saying? These canvas ones were from '06?
I believe so.
And they're
From the
actually
Centennial.
not bad, you know, I'm impressed with how we had to put new grommets in the corners where you tie them onto the pole. The brass grommets, so definitely that's the way to go. These
But do
canvas
they still
ones.
make cloth ones?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I don't.
Yeah, they're just a heavy cotton canvas and then they're silk screen.
Yeah. I just didn't know if they still made them with the change. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a long time ago.
And there was a suggestion that display sales maybe we should go shorter. Right now, the ones that are 30 by 80, 30 inches wide, 80 inches tall. And you know, they would be tougher if they were 30 by 60. We would just lower the
Not as
top,
much.
and then they're cheaper as well.
You take a hammer out there, boy.
Oh, yeah.
The wind tunnel, right down the street.
Well, that's what they asked me, if you live in the wind tunnel.
It's the truth.
Because then the next thing is those new flags, they have been hammered, and they're not out very much. You know, they're out for a few days, we put them out Friday and took them down yesterday. And, dealing with display sales on them, they're not in good shape. A lot of them, I mean, even with all that double stitching and that, they fail, they're fraying, and, they need to make this right, and it sounds like they will, so. But it's the same thing, this was the fourth
Those are the
time
ones
they
we
were
just
out.
bought?
Yeah.
Them were new.
Yes,
Those are the ones
They
we
were.
found.
Yeah.
They were, I thought they were made fairly well.
Well, I thought.
that's what I said, we would have been better off getting the $15 ones,
Throw them away.
throw them away, than these spinner poles that they said, this is what you gotta have, these ones will hold up, them ones were classroom flags or something, well, why didn't you tell me that when I bought them, I mean, whatever.
Let me try.
Yeah, so anyhow, the spinners failed on some of them, they lock up and then they bend, and one of the flags is just gone, I don't know where it went, it didn't have a flag on it when I took the pole down. Anyhow, so that's an update on the flags, we're working on that as well. So. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Oh, I did see a bill in the, for the annex building. Are you working on that? You bought some stuff or?
And we bought the stuff, so if I get a chance, I'm gonna get after it. If not, in the spring, because it can freeze, or you're just wasting
Right.
time. If the concrete freezes, it just,
Mhm. Yeah.
so, anyhow, I'd like to get to it. We'll try it. We got stuff ready to go.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Number 12, council reports, update, main entrance. Susan?
So, I put a letter in there and I'll just read it, what I had sent out to the council, and then it's also to the residents in town. And, I am extremely pleased to say that central entrance sign downtown streetscape is complete. I truly enjoyed working on this project over the last few
12.2
years.
Conflict of Interest Policy, Councillor Thronson. 13
I
adjourned
apologize.
Wednesday, November 27th, 2024,
Just,
at 5 p.m. in the council chambers.
I would, I also would like to say, I'm very happy with the final design and outcome, and I hope each of you are as well. I feel it makes a strong statement as you enter Keewatin or just pass by on the highway. And I have also gotten email from US Steel, and they had a 6 o'clock meeting, and Sue had emailed me and said that she really liked the sign, and that was the day I believe the pellets were put in. And I was glad that she saw it. I said, well, the pellets are in and it's done, but she didn't, it was too dark outside yet, you know what I'm saying, but. All of the taconite to complete the sign has been extracted from our Masaba Iron Range. This is quite a unique sign and is a one-of-a-kind only Keewatin has. The sign supports mining in Keewatin, which is century plus long, rich with history and mining. Several grants were applied and needed to make this sign a reality. Grants that were procured were from Blandon Foundation, IRRB Tourism Grant, US Steel, KeyTac, and in-kind efforts from the City of Keewatin Public Works. The newly completed entrance sign is a mixture of raw iron ore placed around the base of the sign, then processed pellets were added to surround the silhouette laser cutout of the state of Minnesota. The cutout was connected to 2 core steel beams donated from US Steel also. The silhouette itself is a large piece of taconite rock, laser cut to the outline of Minnesota, and then has a smooth, polished finish. So that's done. I mean, there's a little bit of landscaping that still has to be done up there that I don't have a problem monkeying with next year. But I was wondering if we could, I don't know if that new letterhead is done or whatever, but I would like to have letters sent out to Blandon. And I don't even know when we took that money from Blandon, if I'm not mistaken, don't you have to send them pictures of what we did with the funds? I thought there was,
I can't recall, but I don't think that that's a bad idea. Did you
I remember having to do that with previous Blandon, take pictures of it, which Beth has. And so I don't know if they requested anything because it would have to be for the full amount, that 150,000, you know what I mean, how you do that? And this was only a portion of that.
Well, and the grant was received 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense, I like what you're saying, but I think with the Blandon Foundation, with the project out there,
Yeah.
sending them all together.
Yeah, doing it together. And then IRRB too, Whitney and Danae, both of them helped with this. So, you know, IRRB, I'm surprised they haven't requested, now that it's done. And then also out to US Steel. And Beth and I had talked possibly maybe a ribbon cutting would be nice in the spring, once the flowers or that garden is back up and full. And then I would also, you know, like to thank the Public Works Department for all the work that they had put in. Much appreciated, very much so.
It looks very, very nice. One question I have, if I can ask, what's the plan for the old sign? Because that's still up, that's still up down there, and I think it blocks.
It's supposed to be taken down, but they're working on getting it down.
So that's good, okay. All right, and I just wanted to know, because
No.
it's like, that sign looks so nice, and then you got the other one blocking.
Yeah.
And then are you gonna, the plan we talked was to relocate it? Is that?
No, they didn't even, they don't want it, they're not interested.
But I mean, we
And-
talked about putting it at the first entrance. Remember coming from him?
Keewatin, I sent an email, you know, and asked
Are they
them, but
okay with it? or-
they're not interested at all. Cause we thought maybe wrapping it or something, you know what I mean? but
Mhm. No.
I thought we could possibly do, I mean, the sign's in fairly decent shape. The city could use it itself out at O'Brien, you know, as a possibly, I don't know.
Cause you said the one side was still pretty.
Very,
decent.
very good shape, yeah. But, yeah, it's gotta come down and that's next project.
Yeah, I have to agree, the sign turned out great. At first I was like, oh, cause it was hard to see with the smaller, but no, yeah, it turned out really good with the whole
It's pretty,
thing,
yeah.
yeah. And yeah, taking
I
that
like
sign
it.
down would give it a better,
It would help
Yeah.
a lot.
it's
There's
hard,
things-
yeah,
But good work, it looks fabulous.
yeah,
Yes.
it was
I
great,
like it.
thank you.
Do you want me to try and salvage the big sign or just take it down?
I think I just take it out.
Okay, I mean, I'll pull all the tin off and it's all just screwed on there, I just.
And there's layers of that tin.
We were
It's
gonna
like
move it, I
layers.
was gonna try and move
Well,
it
it's
all
good stuff.
in
Right.
one piece, but if you're not interested in doing it.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Just pull all the tin on both sides and,
Get rid of it.
some of it would be, some, you know, there's the big posts, and there's 4 of them, whatever. I'll just take it right.
Salvage what you can,
Brought
yeah.
up about all that
If you need
O'Brien
it.
signs. Who put those signs up in the first place? They're like 30 years old.
Yeah,
Oh,
DNR, I think. We need to maybe
DNR.
contact the
We have.
DNR and see if we can get some new
Some new
signs
ones.
out there.
We have.
We also
Let's say
contacted,
O'Brien resident, yeah.
we also contacted the state on the actual
Okay.
city of Keewatin signs.
Alright.
We're trying.
Oh, we gotta do that. Okay, 12.2, conflict of interest policy.
well, I was hoping Brian was here. I wanted to talk to him a little bit about that because I'm confused still on the comments that have been made on, where I have stepped in or sat in on meetings but no one else, you know, I don't recall doing this. And so I wanted to talk to him about that when I did it. And he didn't have answers last time I talked to him, October 1st. I said, just give me an example because I don't recall doing it. And I just wanted to talk to him about it, but obviously he's not here, so maybe next time we're good to go.
Alright. Anything else, anybody?
So I actually have an update on the property at 132 East Elizabeth Avenue. So just today, Mr. Lindsay was contacted by the owner's sons, and they informed him that they have contracted with DBS in Duluth to fix the foundation. They provided Mr. Lindsay with a signed contract, which I provided to the city clerk. They are going to apply soon for any permits that they need to make the repairs, and they are supposed to start work on it the first week of December. So with all of that in consideration, Mr. Lindsay was wondering if you would want to suspend the civil matter that you have pending right now and let it be fixed. So a suspension is pretty much just putting it on pause. It's not a dismissal, it's not dropping it by any means. It's just kind of taking a step back and seeing if they're gonna fix it. Because if they fix it, that saves you a lot of money and legal fees and also the property wise. And if it comes down to the road and it's February and they haven't fixed it, we can just pick up right where we were with the civil matter anyways. So you guys aren't taking any steps back or anything, it's just kind of like a pause on what's going on now to see if they fix it, because that would save a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm agreed with that too. We need a motion to do that? Or-
Brian told me that you can just suspend it, we really just do nothing. We just
Okay.
don't, because there's another motion that we'd file on the civil matter if we were going forward, like, immediately,
Okay.
or we would just not file it and just wait and see if they fix it. We just wanted to update you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
So we don't need a deadline, right? We don't need to come up with a deadline right now.
All right, I think that wraps it up.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll make a motion. Support.
On this minute, by the way,
Stuck on 5:50.
that one says
I'm
six.
just gonna hit this phone. That'll be 6 o'clock. There we go. All right, I'll call a special meeting. Agenda, adopt a resolution to canvass the ballots from the November 5th, 2024 general election. Whereas on November 5th, 2024, a general election was held in the city of Keewatin, Minnesota, pursuant to law for the purpose of electing 2 city councilors each for a 4-year term. And whereas on November 5th, 2024, a general election was held in the city of Keewatin, Minnesota, pursuant to law for the purpose of electing 1 mayor for a 2-year term. And whereas the judges of the Keewatin precinct where voting was held delivered the ballots voted to the Itasca County Auditor's Office, and whereas the Itasca County election officials determined the returns of the votes cast. And whereas the city council has canvassed said returns and ascertained the number of votes cast and persons elected for the offices. Now therefore be it resolved that at said election the following votes were cast as follows. For the offices of city council for 2 4-year terms, Dustin J. Strand, 267. Randy Nash, 262. Bruce Christensen, 146. Kyle Monistel, 146. And 124 write-ins. For the office of mayor, 1 2-year term, Nick Levine, 389. And 114 write-ins.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution or adopt the resolution.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll support.
6:02.
All in favor?
Aye.
Special meeting adjourned.